paradise for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free.
What's up, Airsofters? This is Josh from MechBox Clothing. Today we are reviewing the G&G Limited Edition Tubular Free Float Stubby Combat Machine. I know it's a mouthful, but this is probably one of the most badass guns I've ever played with. Now, let's talk about the gun real briefly, because as you guys know, these reviews are more about the performance of the gun. We do care about the internals, but we care a lot more about how it's like to actually play with the gun. So, let's talk about what the internals are real quick. First off, you got a mech box that comes with copper bushings, a polycarb selector plate, and you've got and I wasn't actually quite sure about this, but I think it's a polycarb piston too. For the price that you're paying for, which I believe is about $200 on Evike, this thing is incredible. I would even go so far as to say that it is LiPo ready. The one thing that's interesting about the gearbox, though, even though it is reinforced, the screws are on the other side of the gearbox. They're actually on the left side instead of the right side. So if you guys ever end up breaking the gearbox because you put a too powerful spring or something in it, you're going to have to buy a new gearbox from G&G, which is not the end of the world, considering that gearbox is actually pretty good. Externally, it's got the 416 stock. It's got a GBU free-floating system on the front, and it always comes with a 450-round ultra-high-cap magazine from Evike. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this gun, because I am beyond impressed with this thing. For $200, you get a hell of a lot of gun here. First off, starting at the front of the gun, you got this really cool meat tenderizer flash hider. The free-floating system for the handle is really cool. This gun was made for CQB, but I can tell you right now, it shoots at 400 feet per second, so it's perfect for range work too. The thing I like the most about this, particularly because nowadays everyone wears a vest, is that the 416 stock can be held nice and tight to your shoulder. The other nice thing about having this entire area with the kind of gripping pattern that they have on it is you can hold it any way you want, and it's nice and light too. A lot of days guns with this much metal on it, they feel really heavy and bulky. This has a really nice balance to it. Everything is balanced right there in the middle of the gun, which actually comes in handy when you're playing for like 5-6 hours at a time. It's got a rail system on the upper receiver, as usual M4s, M16s do, which means you can put any kind of accessory. This comes with a little flip-up side on the back, which is more than enough for me. In it right now, I've got a LiPo battery, so I'm going to shoot it for you guys in a second. Going around the gun too, you've got the laser engraving on the lower receiver. The way that G&G was able to make this gun so incredibly affordable is that they made the body plastic. Now this is made of a really nice reinforced ABS plastic. I have been beating the crap out of this gun for about, a month now of consistent play, and I have not damaged it in the least. Now if you guys are really rough with your guns though, replacement parts for the upper or lower receiver, you can buy a metal one, you can buy another plastic one from G&G. It takes all body types. It's your standard M4 system. Another little cool thing too, when your spring is locked back after playing with it, push the little button right here, the forward assist, and that spring is let go, and then your gearbox is decompressed, which is a pretty badass little thing they added on top of it. Alright, now let's shoot this thing. If you guys can see that, that's coming out about 400 feet per second. The hop-up is a little off. I don't know if you guys can see how that's firing, but let me put this on full auto so you get an idea. Very, very little misfeeding, which is incredible considering it's a $200 gun. I'm going to fire a little bit more because everyone loves that sound. God knows I do. Pretty impressive, huh? The accuracy on this thing is surprising. It doesn't come with a Type bore barrel, but for something this small, this short of a barrel, which I think is 300 millimeters, it's incredible. It really can reach out and touch somebody. It's comparable to a normal M4 length barrel. That's pretty good. So once again, I'd like to thank Evike himself, RT, big thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for letting me review this gun. The next thing you guys are going to see in this video is me actually playing with it, because God knows there's enough videos on YouTube about just reviewing a gun. I'm going to show you what it's like to actually play with this gun in action. As far as I'm concerned, this thing gets a 10 out of 10, especially because of the price point. You guys cannot go wrong. I've thrashed this thing with my 11.1 volt LiPo, and I still haven't broken anything. If there was one thing I would want to replace inside the gearbox, it would be the brass bushings that it comes with. Put some oilless ones in there. That's all I can really recommend. Everything else in there, this is really top-of-the-line internals for a very low price. Thanks again, guys. Make sure you check out mechboxclothing.com. We got our new clothing line coming out this summer.